most for you?
To be on the edge of control.
I like the speed. I like the battles, defying the odds. I want to be champion.
Hello and welcome to UKC, the Ultimate Karting Championship. I'm Kev Harris, and coming up in this programme, we're bringing you the last bouts of action in this, the opening round of the 2020 debut season. We still have 4 super finals to bring you across 3 different age categories. The cadets are 8 to 13 years old, the juniors are 11 to 14, and the seniors are 15 years of age and older. And they'll all be battling it out, going wheel to wheel, trying to get themselves on the podium, win a cash prize, and have the honour come the end of the season of being able to call themselves an Ultimate Karting Champion. And for this, our opening round of the season, we're here at Rowrah in the heart of Cumbria, where the track sits in the base of what was once Kelton Head Quarry. And if you join us for the first programme, you'll have seen it provides a stunning backdrop for some really incredible racing. And as you can see, the natural landscape has produced many steep gradients like this one here, which makes up turn 1. Straight off the start finish then, it's uphill into a right-hander, looking over the brow and into a left, which I'm sure if you're a youngster sitting behind the wheel of a kart that far off the ground, it must feel like you're staring up at the iconic Eau Rouge at Spa in Belgium. Well, as the opening weekend to a brand new race series, the excitement here is high at Rowrah, as I'm sure you can understand. So I took an opportunity to take a walk around the paddock earlier and chat to some of the drivers.
This is probably like the second or third race we've done since lockdown.
So how are you feeling behind the car? Only a couple of weekends of racing so far this season. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, because I did a lot of practicing on the kart sim, and I think that helped me a lot.
What was it about this championship that made you want to get involved?
I think the main thing is it's just so well run. Like it's going to be really well run, and the prizes are really good as well. And I think it's just going to be a great championship.
All right then, so it's time to take a look at our first class, the Honda Cadets, and these guys are our only 4-stroke karts that are running here this weekend. So unlike the other classes, once they come out of the holding paddock, they'll go down onto the grid and go from a standing start. The car is built around a long-lasting, easy-to-maintain Honda engine that runs on the same fuel as your family car, and it'll push the kart around at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. They're lining up on the grid, so let's go and join your race commentator, Jake Sanson.
Standing start as always in Honda Cadet. It's Connor Duncan from pole position. Ewan Sharman alongside. Sharman gets the best start as they leave the grid. But Connor Duncan's going to hold that inside line. He takes it back again as they come through the chicane for the first time, and that's Cuthbert. Cuthbert and Aston Sharp have tangled. They both ended up on the grass. Sharp has got going again. What about Cuthbert? He's going to have to push start it as Blake Ticehurst runs in behind Gustav Usakov on the first lap. They come up towards stewardesses, 2x2, hurrah, that's very tricky indeed for a lot of the drivers as they try and make a move or two on the opening tour. But it is Connor Duncan who leads Ewan Sharman, third place Zach Drummond, fourth is Harrison Mackey. And the top 4 have got a bit of a gap over the rest of the field as they come out of Paddock Bend and onto the main straight to the chicane once again, lap 2. And the top 4 have already got a bit of a gap. Nice bit of challenging there from Zach Drummond as they come up to Iredale's. This is going to be an interesting quartet, battling away for the victory throughout the race. And up to the inside, into the stewardesses, and Charman gets the lead. Beautiful bit of overtaking from the Charmander. This is a replay on board with Blake Ticehurst as he gets his move on Gustav Usakov onto the inside line, into St John's, no problem at all. So into lap 3, and obviously we've had a change for the lead. Charman in front of Connor Duncan, Zach Drummond and Harrison Mackie. We're on board with Gustav Usakov. Whoops! Alfie Thompson gets through. So Alfie Thompson has made the overtaking move. And that's a nice bit of overtaking as Blake Ticehurst is the man up in front that they're trying to close up on. Through the stewardesses and on the run to St John's. So a good battle continues as Duncan continues to hassle Ewan Charman for the lead of the race. They go into lap 4 and Charman holds station for the moment. And there's a nice little battle cooking up between the two drivers behind as Drummond and Mackie are desperately trying to stick to the other two like glue. They continue in through the lap, out of Sunny, desperately coming up to the final turn. When is the overtaking move going to come? Hang on a minute, where's Harrison Mackie gone? Harrison Mackie has fallen back. Goodness knows what happened to him, didn't quite see, but it's promoted everybody up the order. So Thompson now 4th, Usakov in 5th place from Ticehurst, Devon Nolan is in 7th place from Damien Barris-Haggett. So Usakov trying to make his bid on the inside of Thompson, and we ride on board with Blake Ticehurst. He gets through as well. No, he doesn't. Cut off there by Thompson. That was very close indeed as they tally together. And now up the inside, another bold move as the field makes their way up towards the first chicane into the stewardesses. Lovely bit of battling between those two up at the sharp end of the field. It is now the 79 of Thompson at the head of the queue. That's who got the move in front of Gustav Usakov and Blake Ticehurst. And in the mix there is Devon Nolan in the 54, Damien Barris-Haggett in tow. And then we've got the likes of Henry Jocelyn and Brandon Truman trying to make their way forward with Liam Hartley, Callum Ghosh and Harrison Mackie down in 13th, just one ahead of Josh Bugembi. On to the main straight. The leading battle is well clear, but this battle for 5th position continues to rage. Alfie Thompson now in front of Blake Ticehurst with Gustav Usakov and Devon Nolan. The four of them absolutely glued together as they go through the stewardesses, almost like it's pulled along by a cable. But the two leaders are now stretching out in front. Ewan Charman from Connor Duncan. Still their battle rages as they continue through the course into Iredale's, and that's Charman running wide. Is Duncan going to get his move on the inside line? Well, Usakov is still battling away with Blake Ticehurst, trying to catch him. Ticehurst is dropping him, and this is a good opportunity for the youngster to start stretching out the gap into the stewardesses and still going strong. But as you can see, Ticehurst is now stretching away. There's not a lot the others can do about it. Charman did hold the lead as they go into lap 9. He has got the advantage still on Connor Duncan, but every time Duncan attempts a move, he seems to find a little bit of inner strength. He's still going to push Charman to the limit. Ticehurst still holding on to this 5th place battle. Devon Nolan getting in there in 8th position as he tries to charge forward into lap 10. And Nolan has dropped a little way from that queue, but he's still got a great chance. Launching up the inside. Beautiful on Gustav Usakov. Really nice overtake there as he makes his bid. And up the inside again. Well, that didn't last too long. Usakov was able to get straight back on the inside of Devon Nolan into the stewardesses. And the battle rages as the race goes on. Still a very close and enticing battle between Blake Ticehurst and Gustav Usakov now. No, sorry, that's Alfie Thompson. Usakov still battling away with Devon Nolan, and Nolan's got through. So Nolan gets past and into position. But here are the two leaders once more. Charman in the 42, Duncan in the 41. Both of these guys stretching well clear of the rest of the field. So in 3rd position on his own, Zach Drummond is having a bit of a quiet race, but 3rd place is a good way to start the 2020 season. Into the hairpin once again, through Paddock Bend. Is Connor Duncan going to get his bid to get past Ewan Charman as we go into lap 12? This isn't going to be easy for Duncan to get through, especially with Charman being as decisive and determined as he is. Into the stewardesses once again. This is Ticehurst versus Thompson as they continue their tussle for position. This is of course for P4, so this is best of the rest off the podium if you like. And these are the important battles to win. Even if you're not going for the race victory, even if you're not in the top 3, you still want to come out ahead of your opponent. You learn so much for next time. Usakov is watching Jocelyn get through, and he decides, well, that's a gap open. I'm going to take it as well. So Ewan Charman sets the fastest lap of the race, but is he going to be able to hold on in front of Connor Duncan, who is absolutely glued to his bumper? This is going to be interesting still between Ticehurst and Thompson as they duel over 4th position. Who's going to get it? We're running out of laps to decide it. We're on the final lap now, and that's Duncan. Duncan makes his bid on the inside. Charman comes straight back at him, and they are dueling for position. One of them's going to have to win this one, and a big move up the inside into the stewardesses. Is there enough for him? Yes! Duncan's got through on Charman. That was such a tough move to pull off, but he's managed to get it on the last lap into the right hand of the stewardesses' hairpin. And now, as they come through the final couple of corners, Duncan has snatched it on the last lap. Connor Duncan out of the final turn, and he wins round 1 here at Rowrah in Honda Cadet. Fantastic performance. Second place for Charman, third for Drummond, ahead of Ticehurst and Thompson. Brilliant racing in Honda Cadet.
Well, Zach Drummond started in third and he finished in third. But ahead of him, the action took place on the final lap for our top 2. It was Connor Duncan who overtook Ewan Sharman to get the win, and it certainly made for some exciting Honda Cadet racing. Here's what they had to say when I caught up with them at the podium.
It was a good race all round, but I was leading for most of it, and then for the final 2 laps we had a bit of a battle and Connor came out on top, so it's just racing.
We went down into the bottom corner, and there was a gap, and I went for it, and I managed to get the win from that. I secured it.
So Connor Duncan soaks up the pressure to defeat Ewan Charman with Zach Drummond a solid third. More great action from Rowrah and the Ultimate Karting Championship in a couple of minutes.
So time to take a look at our next race now, and it is the Road Tax Juniors. A restricted 125cc water-cooled engine on board here that will push the car around at up to 70 miles per hour at the fastest sections.
Here's Jake Sanson with the race commentary.
Matty Hingley from Lewis Gardner under starter's orders, and away we go in Junior Rotax up to the first chicane, and already it's a very exciting start as drivers try and knit their way through. Joel Billington we ride on board with. He tries to get the switchback on Finley Harrison and Edison Purcell, and that was a very close run as they come out of McRae's up to Iredale's. It's Matty Hingley that leads the way from Lewis Gardner. Two-time winner this weekend in the heats, Tristan Rennie trying to work his way forward. We're on board with Ronnie Shrimpton as Daniel Sabula gets his move on the inside of the 30 of Scott Lapsley. So some good battles already here at Rowrah as the field knits its way through the stewardesses and up to St John's for the first time. Matty Hingley already starting to build a nice advantage over Lewis Gardner. So Tristan Rennie and Gabe Fairbrother are the ones who are going to go to battle for third position. The battle raging as they go into lap number 2. And it's a good start from Hingley. Gardner in second, Rennie, Fairbrother. Then it is in 5th position Ted Bradbury in front of Neo Clark and Finley Harrison, then Billington and Purcell. So the field knits its way down the back straight. And a very exciting run for Hingley, but he's building a nice solid advantage already. And up the inside, that is Gabe Fairbrother making his move on Tristan Rennie for third position. Good move from Fairbrother. And he makes the move stick in the stewardesses as the field knits their way through Sunny Bend and up to paddock. We're on board with Joel Billington. That's Purcell in front of us in the 194. As they skate their way through Sunny Bend and onto Paddock Bend once again, onto the home straight and into lap number 3. Great start in Junior Rotax, no major concerns at the moment. Billington right in behind Purcell as they go through the S's and up towards McRae's. On the inside line, looks like a couple of battles building in front of them. And I think that was Finley Harrison getting the move there on Neo Clark. And I think Bradbury is hustling Tristan Rennie as well. Up to the corner they come into the stewardesses. A big twitch, and is there enough space to get by? Not quite yet from Bradbury. He's certainly giving Tristan Rennie the hurry up. as they run through out of Sunny Bend. Up towards St John's, I should say, then into Sunny Bend, the left-hander. And out of Paddock Bend comes the race leader, Matty Hingley, doing a grand job there in front of Lewis Gardner and Tristan Rennie. We're into lap 4. And already a bold run. That is Bradbury in front of Rennie, I just spotted. We've got Billington making his way through the S's, starting to fall back in the fray just a little bit from Edison Purcell. But there's still time to turn this thing around, as he well knows. So a good little tussle in the midfield. That is the 53 of Bradbury, having got past Tristan Rennie, so he's now in 4th place. Hingley, Gardner, Fairbrother, Bradbury and Rennie. So these 3 drivers still battling over 3rd position. Gardner dropping back a little bit from Matty Hingley, the race leader. But these 3 well in the duel for 3rd position and the final spot on the podium, of course. Rennie trying to get back on terms with Bradbury. But Matty Hingley dancing his way round the Rowrah circuit at the moment as he stretches out that advantage to Lewis Gardner. Into lap 5. Hingley, Gardner, Fairbrother, Bradbury, and then it is Tristan Rennie. Can Bradbury close up on Gabe Fairbrother as they battle away? So Fairbrother doing a fair job there in 3rd position as they come out of Iredale's and down the straight up towards the Stewardesses. This is the move from Bradbury on the inside line. He gets into 3rd position, no problem at all there. Into the right-hander of the Stewardesses, and he sorts it all out. Matty Hingley just continuing his move up in the lead of the race. Lap 6, and these 3 still dicing for that 3rd position spot. It's Bradbury, Fairbrother and Rennie now within 6th place. Finley Harrison slowly starting to close in on them with some support from behind as well, because in 7th place behind him he's got Neo Clark, and they're working together to close up on the 3rd place tussle. Through the Stewardesses, up towards St John's once again, through the right-hander. Brilliant pictures from the drone as into the final turn and onto the main straight once again. This battle for 3rd position will not relent. Great dice for positions, I should say, as Matty Hingley, he's so finite on the brakes there, just gets it absolutely nailed, slows the kart down just enough to carry plenty of speed through each corner. That's how he's building this incredible lead out in front. Slicing through the thread of the needle. Brilliant performance so far, but 3rd place is still very much up for grabs here. Bradbury still just about hanging on from Fairbrother. And Rennie is under massive pressure now from Finley Harrison. Harrison has caught him up. He's gone at it very carefully and very astutely through the last few laps. I'm not entirely sure why Tristan Rennie's struggling for pace here, because he won 2 of the heats over the course of the weekend, but he is definitely having a problem here to hold on to it. Whether his tyres are going off or whether he just doesn't quite have it on this circuit. Let's have a replay. This is Harrison up the inside of Rennie. Rennie trying to hold on to it, but the back of the kart steps out. That's enough of a gap for Harrison to slice up the inside. Thanks very much. I'll take 5th place. So into lap number 9, and it's a beautiful run so far from Matty Hingley in front of Gardner. And then, of course, we have Bradbury in 3rd from Fairbrother, Harrison and Rennie. And the next in line to try and go for the move on Tristan Rennie is Neo Clark. So all going very well indeed for the youngster in 7th place, trying to get the pressure on Tristan Rennie, as Bradbury is there in 3rd position. 5th place Finley Harrison still trying to hold on to things as you go into lap number 10. And we're getting close to the tail end of the race now. Only about 4 laps remaining after this one, I would say. There's not going to be much time for any more. But this battle is really raging now. Finley Harrison trying to hold on in front of Rennie, and in 7th place, Neil Clark. Oh, he's got a loose rear bumper. The rear bumper is loose, and surely that's going to be his race over. He'll get the mechanical flag for that one, and he's going to have to pull over. Indeed, he does. He pulls over and let the 2 cars through. So they've both got past him, and I'm afraid for Harrison, it's game over. The rear bumper trailing behind the kart. There's nothing he can do about that one, and that's a mechanical flag. So he's going to be into the pits to retire. What a shame for Finley Harrison. It promotes Rennie and Neo Clark up into the battle for 5th position now. But look at Hingley. The back end of the kart is stepping out. He's power sliding his way through the braking zones, carrying plenty of speed. He's absolutely dancing around this circuit. What a performance from Matty Hingley in the shadow of his older brother Ben, who was one of the stars of the British karting scene many years ago. Now his own team is giving his younger brother a chance to shine. Brilliant performance as Matty Hingley really does ride the crest of the wave out in front. Gardner in 2nd place, and then it's Bradbury from Fairbrother, Rennie, Clark, Purcell, Billington, Lapsley and Sebula, with Shrimpton and Black in the rest of the field. So Ronnie Shrimpton and Alexander Black on a big lunge up the inside of Rennie. Goodness me, that really is taking the bull by the horns for Neo Clark. He's desperate to try and find a way through. Rennie is keeping the door firmly shut. No way is he going to let a cheap overtake in tonight. As the battle continues, and it's going to be a really exciting run to the flag. Ted Bradbury sets the fastest lap of the race, trying desperately to catch up to Hingley and Gardner, as these two are still spinning at each other as they come around the circuit. Very close in. Rennie again holds station in front of Neo Clark. Clark tries again. Rennie defends valiantly into the Stuart S's. Clark is trying every single trick in the book here to get past. It's not going to be easy for him to find his feet. As into lap 15 goes Matty Hingley with a decent advantage still over Lewis Gardner. Look at him just absolutely jockeying the kart round every corner. It's a masterclass performance from Matty Hingley as he continues on his way. He's just making it look like child's play out there. Meanwhile, Tristan Rennie is still having this almighty tussle with Neo Clark, desperately trying to get through. Neo is doing everything he can to pass Rennie, but Tristan Rennie knows his way around this Junior Rotax machine very well indeed. Into lap 17 they go. And this is going to be a tough one to hold on to. Clark is going to try again. He has a look, but Rennie moves the kart just enough to make sure that Clark can't get by. Lap 18, you could see on the timing screen behind that there was about 20 seconds remaining, so we're getting close to the end of this final. A very close run. I miscalculated how many laps were left, so we obviously got a few more in the can. But still, Neo Clark tries, and still Tristan Rennie holds firm. As we go into the final lap, can Rennie hold on to this position in front of Neo Clark? It's a tough one, and it's for 5th position, but Matty Hingley has absolutely romped to the victory in this one. He picked up 2 heat wins earlier on in the weekend. Well, a heat and a pre-final to be precise. Clark is doing everything he can to get past Rennie. It's not going to happen. Not the way Rennie's defending. He's doing everything he can, but Matty Hingley out in front. He's in the final turn, and he dominates. Brilliant victory here at Rowrah. Superb effort. Lewis Gardner in 2nd place. 3rd is going to be Bradbury in front of Fairbrother, but is this going to be for Rennie? Yes, it is, just in front of Neo Clark.
Well, Matty Hingley there proving to be the class of the field, finishing that one at some distance from Lewis Gardner. And behind him, Ted Bradbury came up from 6th to get himself on the podium in 3rd. Good racing there from our Rotax juniors. Let's go and join them at the podium.
All the teammates drove great. I managed to get through quite quickly. It was a great race.
Yeah, it was quite good. It all went to plan. We started off well, but I lost a lot of pace during the end, and Ted was quite close at the end, but it all worked out.
Yeah, it's been really well, really good. I think we had good pace all the way through the weekend, and certainly in the pre-final and final we managed to just get a gap and drive off, so yeah, it's been really good.
Matty Hingley makes mincemeat of the field today, with Lewis Gardner and Ted Bradbury joining him on the Junior Rotax rostrum. More great action from Rowrah right around the bend.
Next out on track is the Rotax Seniors. Now these guys are some of the oldest and most experienced drivers here, and this is an unrestricted water-cooled 125cc engine on board that can push the car up to 80 miles per hour around some of the fastest parts of the circuit. It is going to be an incredible race.
Let's go and join your race commentator, Jake Sanson.
The Senior Rotax final for the Ultimate Karting Championship season opener here at Rowrah about to begin. Miles Barthorpe and George Smith on the front row. From Lingard, Garvey, Aiken, Hoole, Heighton, Cannon, Powell, Wood and Hockley. Let's race! Into the first corner, goodness me, a bit of a jostle as they head to the S's for the first time. And we're on board with Kirsty Hockley as she chases after James Wood. Into Iredale's for the first time, and it's already a pretty close quarters race as Lingard has made the bolt move into second position past George Smith. So already an interesting tice as Barthorpe, Lingard and Smith are already duelling away. Ryan Garvey there in fourth position. Oscar Hoole seems to have made the bid past Thomas Aiken. So as the field works its way through the final turn, it is Miles Barthorpe that heads the field for the time being. The field heads into the first chicane. What's that? Oh, that's Oscar Hoole going off! Oscar Hoole's clipped the curb on the inside of the chicane and spun it. Well, it's easy to do that, unfortunately. It's a tricky part of the course. It catches out the best of us. And Barthorpe runs very wide. Nearly an opportunity there for James Lingard. So the battle continues on its way. But George Smith is sizing up the opportunity on the Tony Kart chassis in front of him, as James Lingard continues his battle in second place. So Barthorpe, Lingard, Smith. On board with Harry Canham, that is Thomas Aiken in front of him as he runs in a very solid fifth position at the moment. This is going to be interesting for the race leader. Look how tight it's getting. Lingard right in there behind is George Smith, and we're on board with Canham, still trying to make his bid for Thomas Aiken. He's never going to give him much of an opportunity. He will fight tooth and nail for that place. They come across the line and into lap 4. So it's all going to be very, very interesting as the field goes up towards McRae's. The top 4 well clear of the rest of the field. Barthorpe, Lingard, Smith and Garvey, and that's the move as Lingard has got the lead, but then Barthorpe gets it straight back again. Lingard trying to hold on to the position. Smith sizing up an opportunity but can't because he's already in the defensive mode to Ryan Garvey. Out of paddock bend once again and into lap number 5. No change for the top 4, but not for the want of trying. We're on board with Kirsty Hockley. Oops, we're about to lose out to Oscar Hoole. So Hoole is making the recovery drive, and he gets back into the position. So Kirsty Hockley will continue to charge forward. She's doing a fair job considering that last year she had a bad accident here at Rowrah. Ended up damaging a rib. So she's recovered well and is back to her best. So into lap 6. Still no change from the top 5. Here's Kirsty Hockley. Still pushing hard on board. This is how tough it is in the first chicane. You've got to ride the curb on the second apex, not the first one. Otherwise it really does unsettle the kart. So they come through. The top 4 drivers still absolutely bolted together. Smith still sizing up an opportunity on Lingard. Can't quite make the move stick as we go into lap 7. But Smith is closer to Lingard than he has been for the entirety of the race so far. The midfield battle looking pretty tidy there as well. We've got 5th place Canham, and then Aiken, Chaz Heighton and Josh Powell, and Canham makes a beautiful move there up the inside. So he's battling away with Thomas Aiken, and that puts him up into the position. So the top 4 still squabbling. And that's Smith. That's Smith in second. He's got past Lingard. So George Smith has made the move and got into second place. Now he's all over the back of Barthorpe as they come over the line and into lap number 8. Well, that's the big change around. So this is obviously going to be interesting. Smith now with a good opportunity to go for the victory himself. We're on board with Harry Canham, who is now in 5th position. A very good run from Canham in front of Aiken, Heighton, Powell and Wood. And that's Smith in the lead. Smith has got through. So Smith takes the lead then in front of Barthorpe, Lingard and Garvey. Then it's Canham, Aiken, Heighton, Powell, Wood, Hoole and Hockley. A great fight back from George Smith. He was in 3rd place a couple of laps ago, and now he is handing it to Miles Barthorpe for the time being. But Barthorpe will fight back. He's not going to be a pushover in this one. Nor are Lingard and Garvey. They're going to go straight forward as well. Any chance they get, they will find an opportunity. So across the line, into lap 10. Smith, Barthorpe, Lingard, Garvey, and here comes Garvey making his bid up the inside of Lingard. It's a late one, but he can't quite make it stick as Lingard carries the speed round the outside of the apex and holds on to 3rd position for the time being. Never count them out. They'll try any trick in the book to get their man into lap 11. And up towards Iredale's. They will go out of McRae's Through the left-hand hairpin at McRae's and then down the stretch towards Iredale's. Smith is still pushing hard here in front of Barthorpe, Lingard and Garvey. Terrific race action still from these two twos, because it looks as though Lingard and Garvey are dropping back a little bit from Smith and Barthorpe. We are managing to hold a bit of an advantage here. We're on board with Harry Canham into Iredale's. And he's taking it nice and in his stride at the moment. Is that a move again from Garvey? He has a look at Lingard, can't make it stick. He is doing everything he can to make that overtake happen. But it's looking very tricky out there as the race continues on its way. Smith still from Barthorpe, Lingard still from Garvey, out of the final turn, and it looks to me as though Smith is really trying to get away from Barthorpe, but Barthorpe puts in a new fastest lap, 46.647. That's a quick one from Barthorpe as Canham continues to try and catch up to the karts up in front. But Canham is very much on his own in 5th position. He's managed to pull away just a little bit from the likes of Aiken, Heighton and Powell, so he's able to get very much on with this. Heighton looks as though, is that him in front now? Well, that's James Wood that we were watching there as he battles away with Josh Powell. And we're in lap 14. Heighton has indeed got past Thomas Aiken. So that is for 6th position. So a good move as up the inside this time. Garvey's really going to go for it on Lingard. This time he gets the move. He's been building up to that one for a few laps now. So a good move there from Ryan Garvey. And that puts him up into 3rd place. Good bit of effort. Takes time to make these things happen. It's like icing a cake. You've really got to concentrate if you want to get perfection. So into lap 15. And still Barthorpe and Smith. Barthorpe now back in front of George Smith. He pulled off that move at the same time, effectively, that Garvey got Lingard. So Barthorpe back in the lead. But this is going to be a close one. They both run very deep into the apex of the Stuart S's there. As they come off the turn, into St John's, through to Sunny Bend, and then into Paddock Bend, the final turn. Lap 16. Can Smith get that lead back again? He fought valiantly to take it in the first place. On board with Harry Canham, 5th position. So physical through what they call the Eau Rouge of British karting. It really is a very tough part of the circuit. Up the inside, what a late lunge that was from Aiken as he gets through on Chaz Heighton to retake the position. Heighton coming straight back at him on the exit, but Aiken has shut down that attack beautifully as he drifts the kart just in front of the front fairing. No problem at all, has to shut down the move. It's a beautiful bit of racecraft from Aiken. Not only does he take the place, but now he's on the charge after Harry Canham as Barthorpe holds Smith. Once again, these two dicing for position, and they should go all the way to the death with this one. Smith is not going to let Barthorpe go. We're into lap 18. And Miles Barthorpe, who has plenty of senior Rotax experience underneath him now, knows how to control the pace, knows how to keep it lit. Very deep into the Stuart S's. Both of them drifting very far out to the outside line. It does seem to be quicker. So this is going to be treacherous for Smith. When does he make the overtaking move? When does he make the bid to get past Miles Barthorpe? And can he rely on Miles to leave him enough space to pull the move off? Is the battle further back? That's Oscar Houle having made his way past James Wood. And that's a big lunge up the inside. Good overtaking move as he gets past the 64 of Josh Powell. So Oscar Houle fighting his way back into contention as Aiken continues to hang on in front of Chaz Heighton, and the leaders are still working their magic. Last lap, can Smith get Barthorpe? Lingard has dropped way back off Ryan Garvey, so 3rd place is safe. This is the move from Smith. Dices up the inside at Iredale's. On the exit, Barthorpe back into the lead, back down the straight. He's a front fairing in front. Smith's going to try and cut him off around the outside. He's done it. Beautiful bit of driving for George Smith. Deep into the braking zone, carries the speed and picks up the place. Lovely bit of driving, and with only a few corners to go as well. George Smith out of the final turn at Rowrah, and he takes a sensational victory here at Rowrah, and he's absolutely euphoric about it. No surprise.
Well, they traded places on more than one occasion during that one there, but in the finish, George Smith did the business over Miles Barthorpe to take the win. Amazing racing in the Rotax Seniors. Let's go and get confirmation of the top 3 and see what they had to say at the podium.
Yeah, it was close. I knew George was going to be quick all weekend because in practice he was the quickest. So I was just concentrating on getting away at the start whilst they were battling behind, but he caught me at the end. Should have defended in the main final, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic weekend. Pace was good all week, all Sunday. I think we got fastest lap in all 3 heats and the pre-final and the final. So no, really confident going into the final. Just followed Barthorpe, hoping that we could break away from the rest of the pack. And we did, and I could see that. So just waited to the last lap to make my move into the second hairpin. Didn't quite make it off, so we ended up going down to the bottom corner side by side. But managed to outbrake him into the bottom corner and get the win.
Sizzling effort from George Smith to snatch victory on the final lap from Miles Barthorpe, with Ryan Garvey in a brilliant third. If you're a Senior X30 fan, time to make a brew, because their final is up next.
So our final race we're taking a look at today then, the X30 Seniors, and this is a great opportunity this year for these drivers. Come the end of the season, the ultimate karting champion in this class will win themselves a test day at Carlin Racing. Carlin Racing, of course, have long since been a proving ground for many young drivers who have gone on to achieve greatness, some all the way up to F1. Vettel, Ricciardo, Magnussen and Sainz are all part of the Carlin Racing alumni. So there's a lot to play for the drivers here.
They're lining up on the grid, so let's go and join Jake.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's race in Senior X30. Bradshaw and Jupp to the first corner. Gilbert trying to get through up there in third place from Armstrong and Kean Shields as they battle away. We're on board with Lewis Gilbert now, in behind Juppy himself. Connor Jupp in second place. But the two Fusion Motorsport karts are in front. Bradshaw and Jupp from Lewis Gilbert. Kean Shields has made a relatively good start. He's there in fifth position behind Matt Armstrong. And Reggie Dewey's made a good one on Caden McQueen by the look of it. He's right in behind. Is that Shields for fourth position? It is. He makes the bid to get through, and he's there. McQueen's still out in front of Reggie Dewey for the moment, but they are battling away in the midfield. So Bradshaw out in front of Connor Jupp and Lewis Gilbert. A good start. So Callum Bradshaw stretching out the advantage into lap 2. Already a solid effort. The former FIA Karting Academy trophy winner, doing a great job out in front. Now here's Andrew Trevor watching Charlie Koshol. Whoops! I don't think Ryan Margulis saw that one coming. But Margulis has to concede as Koshol makes up the position. Meanwhile, charging his way through the field, just spotted Alessandro Serenetti making good moves as Koshol finally gets the job done on Ryan Margulis. He had to work hard to make that one stick. But Bradshaw going well. Jupp in second, then it's Gilbert. In fourth place now is Shields from Dewey, McQueen, Armstrong, Scusa and Serenetti, who's up into ninth place now. So here's Andrew Trevor watching as Ryan Margulis executes his way through the chicane. Great pictures from the drone once again as up the inside line. That is the lunge from Kean Shields to get past Lewis Gilbert. So Shields and Gilbert, former teammates, now they are battling against each other. And in third place, Kean Shields, the Flying Scotsman, does it again as he moves up into third on lap number 3. We're into 4. So a great performance from the two Fusion Motorsports out in front. But it's the Tony karts that are behind that are giving big chase. Fifth place is the 66 now. That's Reggie Dewey having worked his way through. Mr. Versatile himself. And that's Serenetti getting a move up the inside line there. Another strong overtake from the Italian. He's been absolutely meteoric there. He gets past Casper Scusa. But Lewis Gilbert runs well in fourth position behind Kean Shields as they go through to the chicane once more. Lap 5. Long way to go in this final. And that looks to me like Serenetti gaining again as he pulls away from Scusa. The Italian and the Pole racing together. So Bradshaw and Jupp a little bit closer to each other than they have been in previous laps. So Connor Jupp getting on with it. But this is not going to be easy to close out. Reggie Dewey still in front of Caden McQueen. And this is going to be Dewey's opportunity on the inside line. Drifts into the position past Lewis Gilbert. Lovely job from Reggie Dewey. A brilliant performance. And now Caden McQueen going to get the lunge on Lewis Gilbert. Superb. Absolutely demanding move, that one from Caden McQueen. But he makes it look simple as he gets through. Lewis Gilbert having to fight back there in 6th position. I'm sure he'll get his chance. He is, of course, a former IAME Euro Series junior title winner, so he knows how to get championships won. This is going to be an interesting one for Gilbert now, though, because he's got a very feisty and very motivated driver behind him, and that is Matt Armstrong. So Armstrong will take any opportunity he's given to. Serenetti now up to 8th place in front of Scusa, then Conor O'Brien, Lucas Romanek, then it's Cameron Coombs, Mason Weir, Charlie Koschel and Andrew Trevor in front of Ryan Margulis. So the battle continues out in front between the two leaders, Bradshaw and Jupp, just getting away from the rest of the field. This is the team part of the race, where they stretch away from the rest of the field. They work in unison together as a team for the moment, but once he gets to the penultimate lap, you can bet that Jupp is going to leave his teammate in the drink if he gets a chance. So there's Reggie Dewey, still in front of McQueen, Gilbert, Armstrong, Serenetti closing in on him. And there's McQueen's move on the inside of Reggie Dewey in the final corner at Paddock Bend. Beautiful, decisive, absolutely totalitarian. So Bradshaw still runs in front of Conor Jupp, but 3rd place belongs to Cian Shields for the moment. 4th place though, well, it's been a terrific fight back from Caden McQueen. Reggie Dewey still there in 5th place in front of Gilbert and Armstrong. We're on board with Lewis Gilbert as the privateer continues to size things up. In front of him now is Reggie Dewey. Superb run through the chicane. But there's Armstrong still trying to drop Alessandro Serenetti, who is not giving him an easy time. And Kasper Scusa hasn't fallen off the back of the two either. These two drivers still running masterfully out in front. Conor Jupp just shadowing Callum Bradshaw's every move. And into lap 12 they go. 1 and 2. Through the chicane, up towards the Stewart S's. And this is a lovely bit of banter between these two up front. Conor Jupp and Callum Bradshaw trading sector times at the moment. And here comes the duel for 3rd position. Now Cian Shields under big pressure from Caden McQueen. They've met several times before, so they know each other of old. But can Caden McQueen overcome the Scot? Up into McRae's and Iredale's. And along towards St John's now. Shields still hanging on in front of McQueen. McQueen trying to get the bid to come through, but it's not enough space to commit to the move. Lap 14. Still they dice. Gilbert tightening up his grip on Reggie Dewey in front. Can he make a bid to come through? This race is not just about aggression, it's also about tyre management, and Gilbert makes the lunge on the inside, tucks in behind Cian Shields as McQueen gets the move done on Cian Shields at the same time. Brilliant bit of racing. So McQueen makes the move, Gilbert makes the move, and the top 4 drivers in that battle really jostling. Now Gilbert's making his lunge on Shields and gets there. Just Caden McQueen to go. Oh, Cian Shields got him straight back again. Let's watch. Gilbert goes deep, Shields reacts to it and manages to get a faster acceleration off the turn. So now Gilbert chases back after the Flying Scotsman. Lewis Gilbert, the Dalry Diamond, and Cian Shields based in Glasgow. So he tries again, and this time he sorts it out of the Stewart S's. Great racing from both drivers, but it's Gilbert who wins the battle for the moment, and a big lunge from Reggie Dewey sees Cian Shields losing out on this occasion. Lap 17. And still, the race action is absolutely palpable in Senior X30. But Lewis Gilbert has pulled off a couple of fast moves to gain some positions. That's a black and white warning flag going out, but not to the man out front. Callum Bradshaw sets the fastest lap as he starts to drop his teammate a little bit. And it will be enough to shut down any opposition or any challenge that there might have been. So Gilbert still trying to close in on Caden McQueen up front, who has now stretched out a little bit of a gap. But it's fine for the moment up front, as Callum Bradshaw continues his charge. Serenetti still trying to come past Armstrong, but it hasn't worked out. So across the line, into lap 20 goes Bradshaw, with Jupp again starting to rein in on him a little bit. Needs to continue to stretch out any gap he has so as to thwart any opposition. Bit of defensive driving from Dewey. No way round that corner for Cian Shields to overtake, as Armstrong and Serenetti are right in behind. Out of the final turn comes Callum Bradshaw, and it's victory in front of Conor Jupp. Brilliant racing and a fantastic result. Caden McQueen is 3rd. Gilbert is going to be 4th in front of Shields and Armstrong. Very close battling to the line. Absolutely amazing.
Well, once they got out in front, that race was all about Callum Bradshaw and Conor Jupp taking 1st and 2nd respectively. They were the class of the field in the X30 Seniors. Let's get confirmation of what happened at the end and join them at the podium.
to stay with Callum, who's regarded as one of the best senior drivers around at the minute. I think we've done a good job in the final.
Pre-final's a bit easier than the final. Teammate has come back from a comeback, you should say. He's been mechanicking and he definitely pushed me all the way. Like, I made no mistakes and he was just there and he definitely pushed me all the way. So it looks easier on the result sheet, but it definitely wasn't.
Superb effort from Callum Bradshaw as he wins a brilliant duel from Connor Jupp, and Caden McQueen joins them on the podium from Lewis Gilbert and Cian Shields. Connor Duncan may have won the final, but Ewan Charman holds the points lead in Honda Cadet by just 4 points, with Drummond in third ahead of Uzakov, Ticehurst and Thompson. But it's still very early doors in the 2020 season. There are still plenty of drivers who can wade their way into the battle for the title in Honda Cadet. We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. Matty Hingley tops the table in Junior Rotax, but only by 3 points, thanks to Tristan Rennie's performance in the heats. Gardner and Fairbrother are not far away either, so this could be quite the contest as 2020 develops. It's still open house. The duel for supremacy in Senior Rotax has just got started as Smith and Barthorpe are locked in a dead heat at the top of the table. Lingard, Garvey and Hull are giving chase behind them, with the next 5 drivers in the table covered by just 9 points. Callum Bradshaw wants to make 2020 his own in Senior X30. He's currently 8 points ahead of Jupp, with 6 points covering McQueen, Gilbert, Armstrong and Shields. This is going to be a close fight in the Ultimate Karting Championships, and anything can happen. I can't wait for round 2.
Well, that brings us to the end of our first round of action in the Ultimate Karting Championship. And next time you join us, we'll be at Wilton Mill, bringing you 7 more great races. Until then, from all of us here, see ya.